We're snorting cap rates and shooting up cash flow here at Deal Junkies. Welcome back to Deal Junkies. I'm Gabe Johansson. I'm here in the studio with the Mike Nuss. And we've got a special guest with us today. The boys are in where are they? They're in
Istanbul.
No. They went to Greece. They said Turkey sucks. They're in Greece. They're in Athens right now. I had a meeting with them this morning. They're having a lot of fun.
Nice.
We're in the studio with Dustin Miller. Thanks for being with us today, Dustin.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Dustin is a real estate investor, broker, property manager, developer, general contractor, all things real estate. Manages over $18 million in assets, and we're gonna dive in and get to know you a little bit today, Dustin. So we appreciate you being on the show.
Hell yes, I'm excited.
You excited?
Yeah,
all right,
excited.
we're excited.
Yeah.
Cool. So I looked you up on Facebook, and the first thing I saw on there, it said you're a girl dad. That's your title. That's your main title. So all this real estate stuff, but the main thing you want to be known for is being a girl dad.
You got it.
How many
right?
girls do you have?
I got 3 girls, and that's the priority, right? The family. I got to take care of the.
You sound like you're having fun with it,
chickens. Though. Yeah. I do. I enjoy them. They're just my life.
So Dustin walked in today into the studio with his daughter Kennedy. How old's Kennedy?
Kennedy's just 7 years old.
Okay, 7-year-old little cutie. They just got off a hot air balloon ride. They came from a hot air balloon ride to come here to a podcast. I have 3 daughters also, and I will say, so I am a girl dad, but I don't say anything about that on Facebook because I don't think I enjoyed
it. You don't want to admit it?
I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you. I love my girls, and we have a great relationship.
They're still cute. He hasn't seen the attitude, the real, true.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I mean, you can see attitude, but it's different when they are much taller.
11. Yeah, 11 was the age, and now the attitude is full blown.
No, you wait till you get to 16, dude. 11's nothing.
Oh, wait till you get to 31.
Life's fine at that point. Are you kidding?
I have grandkids older than your kids. How old are your daughters, Dustin?
Well, I have a 7-year-old, and then 11, and then 27.
27.
So
Okay. All right. So you spread it out a little bit.
I had a daughter real young.
I did that too. I did all 3 really young, and then I stopped. You did one and waited.
Yeah, 18. Yeah. I was in high school. Yeah,
me too.
Senior year.
Me
Is that
too.
right? Really? Yeah. And you kept going. You didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
the first one.
I couldn't figure out what caused that. You know, it's like how come these kids keep popping out?
Right. Weird.
So you were in high school,
yes,
when you had your first, senior year. Yeah, I did that. I did that. That's an interesting thing to be a dad in your senior year.
You're still a kid.
Yeah,
you know?
not for long.
Trying to raise a kid. Yeah, it makes it grow up fast.
Yeah, it does.
Really fast.
It does.
You still never grow up. I don't know why you say it grows up fast. We're still not growing up.
Yeah, we're guys. So I have a theory that in the 5th grade we stop maturing.
The 5th grade, 2nd grade.
Second grade for you?
Oh no, 3rd grade. I was rough. 2nd grade was rough.
So Mike is 9. His
Between
maturity
2nd grade and 3rd grade is when I slowed down my cussing.
Oh, you slowed it down?
Oh, 2nd grade was
Did you pick
bad.
it back up recently? Because
No. I'm a scaled down version of my 2nd grade self.
So you were just a sailor when you were 8 years old?
Yeah, it was bad.
I can see 8-year-old Mike.
The soccer field at Scott Elementary School was not a safe place to be.
But you weren't having kids in high school, though. You were just cussing a lot.
No, because I slowed down. I don't know how we got on this conversation.
Girl dad. Yeah.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you really enjoy real estate and you enjoy your family and you're living a great life.
Man, it's great to be doing like what you really love. I could truly just love doing this, and a lot of the stuff I'm doing now is just I'm doing it because I like to. We have so many different lanes we could jump into. It's like, hey, this is what I want to do.
So take us back a little bit. I mean, were you always interested in real estate from the beginning? Did you work other jobs? Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and how this all comes about. How does Dustin Miller become Dustin Miller today?
Yeah. Sure. I'm not sure how deep or therapy.
Go as deep as you want to go. Yeah, we want to hear it all.
But grew up pretty rough, rough upbringing, kind of some,
How rough? Was it poor? Were you poor? Yeah?
Poor.
Is that what made it rough? You think if you had had more money, it wouldn't have been as rough?
Right now.
Well, poor. I don't know, poor. Yeah, I used to grow up, real poor, single mom, and single mom, real poor, jumping around.
Did she have you young?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was just.
So it ran in the family.
18, exactly.
Yeah,
right, and it was just. That's
kind of how it works.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it did. Yeah. And I, that was one thing where when I had my daughter, I was like, this stops now. Like, this is the
first daughter. You decided that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what changed me. I think sent me on a different trajectory. Like, families from criminals, drug addicts. Both parents are still hardcore drug addicts I don't speak to. I bounced around houses to house to house, schools to school, when I was young.
So you're truly a self-made man. Like there was no privilege. There was no, we're going to push you to go to college or push you to be an investor or do this. Like, you're just purely in survival.
My family I didn't even know about college. Like, we didn't talk about it. It was never a thing. Like, it wasn't, my mom it was college.
You knew about jail. Don't go to jail, Dustin.
Yeah.
Well, you knew about jail, but was it a don't go to jail or was it a different frame of jail?
Is that where you get your best education?
Yeah, right? Like, hey, you get some resources, you do some networking.
Some networking. Nothing.
Did you ever go to jail?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was crazy. My family, the people I grew up around, my uncles, they're bank robbers. I mean, they're hardcore criminals. They run from and so I did too. Every time I got into some trouble, I'm out. I'm running. So I started, high school. I was pretty crazy, real wild.
Are we gonna air this?
Yeah.
This is pretty raunchy.
I love it.
heading down a trajectory of like not good, and it was my daughter that kind of saved me.
Okay.
That was like, wait a second, I got to be there for her. She's got to depend on somebody. She's got.
So it's a good thing to be a dad.
Yeah.
At 18,
it helped.
You were going the wrong way.
I think it saved me for.
When you say going the wrong way, like were you criminally minded like your family, or were you just into partying and drugs and alcohol?
No, I was. I mean, I don't.
I don't know. That's why
Dustin
I'm
likes
asking
to have
you.
fun.
Yeah.
Dustin is an inhibited person who enjoys life and sucks the marrow out of life.
So you're a fun guy.
Uninhibited.
I think the whole family has this, just like we really like adrenaline. Like we just thrive off of like excitement and want to live. And so you can take that any direction.
That's right.
And some of my family members take that in a direction the wrong way. Yeah. And now I headed a different direction.
So you found adrenaline in a healthier way in real estate.
Sure. Yeah. It took me a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, you asked like at a young age, I was always looking at real estate like through a lens of at a young age, in high school, in my 12, 13 years old, grew up, finally came out to Newburgh, and you got the land in between Sherwood and Tualatin, and at a young age I was always thinking Tualatin Sherwood Road, I got to buy that farm, I got to buy because it's coming in here. I was always
thinking about the growth of the
and hey, this
urban
is going to
sprawl.
Connect, and then I'm going to need that farmland out there and develop it. That's
what made you think of that? Did you know anybody that owned real estate or had been like that? It was just in your blood.
It was just like you could see what was going on. You could know that there's money there, and it's just kind of the natural growth and progression of these like cities, and so I always kind of had that mindset.
So the nature versus nurture. Your nurture was very much adrenaline, party, drugs, crime, and your nature was
party. We editing that out.
Robin Banks. Robin Banks. Just your uncles.
ATM machine.
ATM.
You robbed an ATM. Is that what you went to jail for?
Bar and Keno money. So you go to bars and get the Keno money.
Keno money.
Like they're Keno payouts. I didn't do that.
Were you money driven as a kid? Did you want, what made you think you wanted stuff? Like you wanted to have a different life than what was provided for you?
Yeah, couldn't afford stuff. And just always embarrassed of like pulling up to school in a beat up little beater car, or being on free lunch, all those things just humiliating as a kid. My daughters get embarrassed over these things. You're like, you had no idea. Yeah. You have no idea. So I think wanting money, wanting to not be deprived and not have like what you want, I think is a big like motivator to me.
Sure.
Like not having enough to survive, running out of gas all the time. Like so many times we're running out of gas, with my mom and her Bronco, all the time.
You remember those stories.
$5 at a time in the gas can, and just so we'd run out of gas the next day. Yeah. It was just a horrible cycle.
Hand to mouth.
Yeah.
Go to the gas station, spend $5 on gas and $5 on cigarettes or something. something or alcohol or just.
So it's crazy to see.
Yeah.
Right.
So you use that as fuel to fuel that fire in you to go a different path.
Sure. Just this doesn't work. Like, this isn't okay. This isn't how. I think I wasn't able to like look at my parents for like, oh, this is how things should be. It was more like, this is not what I'm not going to do. Mm-hmm. And there's a different way. So I have to like look around and see, okay, this is what I want to be like. I don't want to run out of gas. Like, I want to be over here. I want to have enough.
Did you have anybody in the early days that sort of set that example for you that you looked up to and said, I want what they have?
I like one uncle like that it like, and you could just go to his house and it was peace, and it was calm and had things together and it was like, yeah, that's what I want. I want that feeling of he was an investor, but just normal, right? Just had his stuff together.
Less chaos.
Yeah, just had his stuff together,
yeah.
and I think that was kind of a guide and yeah. Right.
So what were you doing? Or I mean, once your daughter comes, like, what'd you do? You're like, I want to provide a different life. I want to do something. Did you go to work? Like,
yeah. Well, Newburgh and growing up kind of a blue collar family and stuff. And well, I mean, that's not even blue collar. Right? They're like
working towards.
That's if somebody's doing real good.
Is that like gray collar?
They're holding. They're holding the job. That's like my family.
Orange
like,
jumpsuit.
Hey, he's doing real good. He got himself a job now. He's going to work.
Yeah.
That's good. So
gets up every day. Goes to work.
Oh, that's living the dream, right?
Wow. So what'd you do? How'd you pull it off?
I wanted to be a welder. Like, that was my thing. I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to be a welder. So I did that. So I started working at shops and mechanic shops, and then I got a job at Chevron Oil refinery downtown on NATO Parkway. There's a big refinery there. It was actually the asphalt refinery. So they pump in crude oil and this asphalt column, and I was welding on these dirty, nasty, stinky pipes. I was in this column cleaning it. They do a shutdown, and so you're inside of this big, huge furnace that they burn the oil in, right? And they separate the different like layers of the oil. And I'm chiseling, cleaning this damn thing. And what changed it for me was there's this the sales guy. Like, I'd be in this thing at like 4 a.m. in the middle of the night, working evenings, 12-hour shifts all night long. And the sales guy would come in his convertible and his flip flops, and there was a life-changing moment where I was up in this column just looking out, and this sales guy came up. I won't forget it, and just walking into this office at 9 a.m. in his flip flops, and that changed it for me. I was like, no, I'm going to get into sales. Like, I'm going to get into sales, and I'm going to start. I'm not doing this. This is not the ticket.
So you said you wanted to be a welder, but you were doing something with asphalt. Were you doing welding?
No, a little bit of welding, okay. But you're just like
you're a grunt.
Yeah, you're an assistant, apprentice.
How old are you at this time?
Like that. 20, 21. Yeah.
And you're seeing, okay, I'm going to work hard, because that was what was told to you, is that, hey, you got a job, you get up, you get a paycheck.
You go to work.
Right. And then you're working the job, and you're like, this is hard. And you see a guy walking around in flip-flops driving a convertible, and you say, I'm going to switch
I got to do something different. This isn't exactly.
So what'd you do? How'd you become a salesman?
I actually, so I tried, going and started applying for stuff, and I didn't go to college. So I'm just trying to apply for whatever. And I ended up, selling cars. So that's where I started. My first sales job, the only thing I could get is selling cars. So I started selling cars and did that for not very long. That is a nasty industry.
I know. I did it for 20 years.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
You were smart. I always advise all people who want success, especially early on in life, to go sell cars for at least a year or two. Sure. It's the best education you can get.
Yeah. Got to.
You learn all about all about hustling and
you have to work. You got to get that deal closed. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to.
It's high pressure.
You're going to starve. Yeah. It is. Or you're just kicked out.
So you went and sold cars.
Sold cars for a little bit and did really well. First couple months, salesman of the month, I'd killed all these old dudes at a young age. Got myself a little demo car, and I was just loving it, living it. Made some money, made like $10,000, and just going on
rich.
the way. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot for me back then.
Yeah.
So selling cars for a little bit, and then transferred over. I had a friend that was working at Video Only, and he's like, "Hey, I was here last year during Christmas, and we made tons of money. Where it's like Christmas time selling TVs,
yeah.
And so went that direction, and did that for quite a few years, and made a couple bucks doing selling TVs, and then from there I went into like outside sales. So got an actual like outside sales job, just selling transportation.
What do you mean by outside sales? You're driving around meeting people instead of having somebody come to a showroom.
Trying to get people to sign up for our delivery systems.
Okay.
Companies, going after companies that need transportation needs and fulfilling that. So,
okay.
But I've always been pretty well, networking, talking to people and stuff like that. So pretty quick, I worked my way up to being buddies with the CEO of the company, and for some reason he gave me a whole branch out in Tri-Cities.
This is the trucking company.
Yeah. Okay. He gave me a whole branch out in Tri-Cities, and I opened up that branch. Somehow became friends with him. He gave me all of Washington. So I ended up at like 26 years old out in Seattle, living on Lake Union. I had this condo that, the elevator went up to the top level, and that was my house, and overlooking it, Lake Union.
Living fat.
Not bad. Amex, that I'm just taking people out. That's my job and stuff. And, company that trusted me to do all that. But I was partying a lot too. It's hard to get out of that system. I still had a lot of adrenaline needs in my blood, and so and having access to money and just that life and stuff. I bought a boat down there, and so I was on the lake and just having a good time. And quickly got 2 DUIs in company cars, so back to back. Right, so
same day.
No, but I'll tell you, the first one I didn't even hesitate, didn't pause, it didn't slow down one bit. CEO flies out and, Dustin, tell me why we should keep you here. It's like, hey, I'm running this shit. Like, that's why, because I'm the only one that can do all this. The company was expanding. We're just taking on mad business, and I was managing it, And so, second one wasn't as easy. Like they came out and handed me a check. So my last check.
That's a little bit of a wake up call.
It was. That changed me too. That was another pivotal moment in my life.
How old were you at that point?
26, 27.
Yeah.
So moved back to Portland and kind of became a little bit more like grounded. Okay, we're gonna take things real serious now again, and kind of refocus and all that. So
you're a type A personality, adrenaline junkie, and you're running. You've got hustle in your blood, but you're had a family running down the wrong path. You decided to reinvent yourself, but you reinvented yourself on a professional level, but on a personal level, you still hadn't leveled yourself up yet until this moment.
I was just a part-time dad, so I was doing the best I can. I think I stayed with my daughter's mom till she was about 3. Just tried. It wasn't going to work out, but just tried. And it took my father, being a father, really seriously, but it's still just weekends and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And so going out there to Portland, see her every weekend, driving back and forth. Tri-Cities, I drive back and forth all the time. So, and then my weekends, I go hard, right? So it's just kind of flip-flop.
Did your daughter have kids?
No. She
broke the chain.
She did. I helped her break that chain. Like, it was like, hey, you're going to grow up different. And she did. She went to college. She's an amazing girl. She's,
she will have kids
now,
probably.
And an entrepreneur. Yeah, but at a reasonable age. Time. Right. She's 27 now, and she's, she's ready.
How old are you?
She's married. So I'm 46.
You're going to love being a grandpa.
I know.
It's so cool.
I know. Yeah. My sister just had a little one, and it's just like,
you're going to love it.
I'm just like, that is my heart.
Sure. All right. So you decided to make some personal changes at this time when you got your second DUI. What did you do to make those personal changes? How did you just decide, like, I'm going to hunker down and not party? Did you seek help? Like, what happened?
One thing that, they put you in the classes and stuff, so you kind of have to
diversion stuff.
But also, I don't have any backup. Some of my family, some of them, they have somebody to lean on and stuff, but I don't have anybody I can call. I need a place to stay. I need some money. I need some help. Like, so I had to get my shit together, and not that I was okay, but it's like, hey, now I got to reestablish and get, figure it out. So,
well, by now you've got your daughter's about 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So, and she's lived with mom, and I'm still doing the weekend warrior like stuff, and everything. But I'm back in Portland, and I get a job doing, just randomly. Came across this lady had a wood broker business, and so I was like brokering hardwoods and stuff.
Okay.
So and being an outside rep and traveling around a little bit, doing that stuff didn't take long. Where I was like, oh fuck this, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And so I jump out and start doing it myself, and just start brokering wood, repping product lines, and just kind of doing that stuff for quite a while.
All right.
So did that for like 5-6 years. being an entrepreneur. And
so you didn't jump into real estate till later on. You're in your 30s by the time you jump into real estate.
Kind of late 30s, right?
Late 30s,
like late 30s,
yeah,
right? So,
okay,
yeah.
So really, it's only been in the last decade or less that you've been in real estate.
7 years, 8 years, 7
years. You've built quite an empire in the last 7 or 8 years.
Oh, I don't know. It's called that. not compared to some of the
people. You can't compare it like that. Yeah. Compare it to your family who was robbing banks.
You can compare it like that. You just can't compare it like that.
He went from orange jumpsuit to blue collar to I don't know what. You go to white collar and then to what? You don't even have a collar. You're wearing a T-shirt today.
Oh yeah.
He's usually shirt off on the boat, doing 360s on the wave and stuff like that.
Yeah, the selling cars and video only ruined me because you have to wear a tie. Right?
No, I hate that. I hate that.
Never again. Catch me with a damn tie.
No, I hate ties.
You had to experience it to ruin it. I can tell. I don't need to experience it to know that's wrong.
So you're in your 30s. Tell us how you got into real estate. What was your entry point?
I ended up like getting engaged, ready to get married. That didn't work out. It was like, this is not the right one. So then took another like little hiatus and stopped brokering wood and moved to a floating home. Got a floating home and I started selling boats, wakeboard boats and stuff. And so then
you're a big boat guy.
Kind of took off on like another little like, I'm gonna have some fun for a little bit, you know. And so I did that for about a year and then met my current wife. And it's like, okay, well, it's time. Let's get real now. And I think that's when it clicked. Of like, now I'm ready to start a new family, and I need to provide. And this has always been a passion of mine. So at that point, I started. We got together, stopped selling boats. I got a job kind of in the construction business, selling essentially hard surface packages to develop a Polygon and these bigger builders and stuff like that. So started selling that to really get into. I wanted to learn and understand construction. I didn't know a damn thing about it like so much. I want to understand how these buildings are built and how they come together. I want to network with these developers, builders, and stuff. And so I did that while I was studying real estate. So I kind of got that job, made some stable money at least. Selling boats is not stable. Mm-hmm. So made some stable money and kind of learned the industry, networked, and started listening. That's when Bigger Pockets came out, and I just going back to those original episodes. I mean, you can learn so much. I think I started listening to it when they were on episode 40. Or something, right? Like really, really early on. So I went all the way down to
what led you to 1. That? What made you think I need to listen to some real estate podcasts?
You hear this around, and there was a Brandon Turner will say this or something. He'll say, Josh Dorkin, right? The original guy, like why they started it. It was because they were trying to find information on the web and trying to find information about real estate developing, and they couldn't. It was all just people trying to sell them bullshit packages, and I found the same thing, and that's all that was online back then. I mean, you type in real estate investing, you're just going to get somebody trying to sell you a bunch of courses, right? So that's what I found until I found Bigger Pockets. It was great, and they had the same principle. They wanted to help people out that wanted to get into this, and just a wealth of knowledge. I mean, and so you could listen to all these podcasts and all these people talking about their success, but I think what really clicks is you start to hear the same things over and over, right? Mm-hmm. And I think those are the nuts that you want to take. And
what are some of those things that you heard early on?
I think like just getting started, right, is and not being afraid. I think fear is the one thing that holds most people back, and trying to like overanalyze and what do they call that? Analysis paralysis,
right? Big brains.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not really afraid. I'm not afraid to fail.
Do you feel like if you were to on a scale of brains and brawn, would you peg yourself more on the brawn side or the brains side?
I was in slow classes. I bounced around from school a lot. I was in the wheelchair classes.
I tell a lot of people trying to get in, oftentimes they're trying to learn everything. And I'm like, if you really go out and look at it, it's not really the smartest people who make it in this industry. It's the one who have the guts to go out and actually do it.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to. You see a lot of people in this industry that certainly don't don't have that, but it's like go do it and then learn from those mistakes and then divert quick. Be resourceful and learn how to knock down problems.
So what were some of your early lessons that you learned in your real estate education? Just diving in, because I can tell you're a brute force guy. You're just like, let's do this. So how did it start for you?
Let's see. I was with a retail brokerage. Got my license. Right, that was the first thing Bigger Pockets said was like, go get your real estate license and try to. And that's a good thing. Like I heard that over and over. So that's what I did. I got my real estate license, and I was also like knocking on doors and just leaving this little flyer that was like I printed on Microsoft Word that had a house, like little word art, and I buy houses. Like that, I still have those in my toolbox of like those little flyers that I was sending out. Like
so you were trying to
forever.
You were trying to flip, or were you trying to find
wholesale or flip or something, Yeah, and so I was like putting those on neighborhood doors and stuff, and just like kind of driving for dollars. But in my neighborhood, I was living in Woodstock, and so it was a really hot zip code at the time. Well, it kind of still is.
Still is, yeah.
Right. And so I was putting those on the doors and stuff, and I ended up coming across one that was a double lot, and I was talking to the guy. He came over and he walked over to my house. It was just a neighbor, and he found my little flyer. He's like, oh, hey, you left this here, and I tied up this like double lot. Sold it for $320 to this guy, a good buddy of mine, and then he resold it for $400. So right off the bat, so I had no idea, but he gave me $15,000, and I won't forget that moment either. Like I looked at that check, he brought it to me at work, and I was done. I was like, I quit. Like weeks later, I quit weeks later. Like,
I got 15% of a huge wholesale fee. I quit.
It took me a couple months to figure out.
What happened.
He was supposed to give me the hardwood package, the interior package. I was like, "Hey, Brett, when are you gonna be ready with those?" I just threw him under the bus. Brett Barton, what? Hey, can I have that? He's like, no, I sold that to a friend. Oh yeah, what'd you sell it for? Yeah, I made some crazy amount on it. It's like $80,000.
So did that make you want to do more wholesale, or what?
It made me like know that, hey, you know what? I can put out this much effort and I can make this much money.
You make
and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, minimal effort, maximum returns.
Like I can now I know I can make.
You wholesalers are all the same. Fucking easy money.
It's way better than a car deal or a boat deal.
Yeah,
we're just going to wholesale houses.
Ruin it for everybody else.
I've always looked at this lens of like sales, right? You're always getting a percentage of something, right? Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is go after the biggest number that I can. Sure. I want a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're a salesman, sell the biggest thing you can.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
I met my wife. She was
caveman math. It works out well. Brute force.
Big number. Big commission.
big number. Big dollars. Right. It's a simple. You can be simple.
That's the beauty of life. It can be really simple. We just make it hard.
You still wholesale today?
No, not so much. There's so much work involved in running the construction business, all that. Like, yeah.
But you said it was minimal effort for maximum return, so you must have found something better after wholesaling.
I don't know that it would be.
No one wants to be in wholesaling forever. No one wants to be
I did a couple
there.
of the wholesale deals, and I think I quickly realized I didn't like it. I like you're a wholesaler.
No, I'm not.
Oh no,
okay, no.
I say you're doing wholesale.
No, I'm not a wholesaler.
Okay, all right. I thought you said you were. Right.
No.
Anyways, I didn't like it because I think the whole principle of it is you're being kind of shady, right? And you're kind of stuck in a tight spot sometimes because you're going to saying I want to buy this house, and then you're not buying this house, you're selling to somebody else, and I did that a few times. I was like, man, I get stuck in a couple of shitty situations, and
feels kind of like the car business.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's even shadier than the car business.
I think so.
At least they come visit you on your lot.
Oh man, so yeah, I got caught in a couple situations, didn't like it that much, and I didn't want to do that. So, but I did a few, and got some list backs, and
So did you broker? Did you end up brokering, like fee brokering for third party at that point, or are you still brokering?
I don't like. I ended up picking up on a little bit of brokerage stuff, but that's not my. I'm not a good retail like agent.
Why?
Because I'm not the dot your T's and cross your I's.
Not
guy.
detail oriented. Yeah. You're the personality.
He dots his I's and crosses his T's.
Right. Yeah, I'm not that. Yeah, exactly.
No, the other way around, Mike. You said that backwards. You're trying to make fun of him, say that he dotted his T's and crossed his I's.
Yeah.
But you said it backwards.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. We'll play it back.
That means I said it the
You
right
said
way?
it right.
No!
Did you say? Because I said it wrong on purpose. I said it wrong on purpose.
Did you say it wrong on purpose?
I did, and
I did say the opposite of that.
The opposite.
God
yeah.
damn it, you tricked me. You fucking set me up for failure.
That's why we don't let Mike do the intro. He'd be like, welcome back to Junk Dealies.
But okay.
Yeah.
The best thing he ever did was get his broker's license because that's how he met me.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go.
So funny story there. Went with this retail brokerage shop, kind of a boutique Lake Oswego brokerage, company. Bougie,
Bougie.
And I got my first deal under contract, which was a big corner lot in off of Duke. You probably remember off of Duke, big, massive lot, triple lot size on Duke, and I get it under contract and I take it and I'm so damn excited that I got to do something with this, a really good price. I know it, and take it to okay. And the principal broker looks at me like, okay, what are you going to do here? I was like, well, are you going to sell this or buy it? And I was like, well, I don't know. You're going to try to sell it to somebody. If not, then I'm going to buy it. And they're like, whoa, that's illegal. We can't do that, right? And so they were, and then 2 days later, they were like, you need to leave. So, this is not okay. What you're doing is not okay. And so I'm devastated because this is just I'm on fire. I'm just ready to take over the world, and I'm so fired up. And so I go to Bigger Pockets, and I'm like, what the hell do I do here? I'm typing in, and somebody said, check out Rarebird. I think it was Jay Heinrich said,
Jay.
Check out Rarebird. And so I went to Rarebird, went to it wasn't Investor Lab, it was Rarebird, meetup, and I listened to Mike and Tyler, and I was just like, this is it. These are my people. They think the way I do. They're doing exactly what I want to do. So I sit down and interview with them to be a broker, and met Mike and Tyler, and there we go.
So you hang your license at Rarebird?
No, they let me go too.
Wait,
he was honest about that?
You're too shady for Rarebird?
I mean,
he crossed his I and dotted his T, man.
I'm not good at paperwork. I'll say that. Now I have people to help me with that. And I'm how you mentioned, you just try to get the deal done, right? You're just like, hey, I'm just trying to get it all done. And I did a lot of that stuff. I think one of the other things too is I didn't respond to their office ladies. I was non-responsive and stuff. They didn't like me.
Yeah.
And so
we have brokers like that too.
Yeah. And so
the bad boy club.
I ended up missing there's 3 parties in a deal. I got
you don't need to get into the details. Blah
blah blah.
You got fired. Mike fired you. That's all we need to know.
I kept coaching him on the side. It was
I was devastated. I was like, oh my god, this is really bad. I really need this. So Mike, I talked to Mike. I'd say Mike kind of had my back. The other partner did not. Maybe. I was joking. I shouldn't say that. But Mike was like, hey, maybe Mike was trying to get rid of me too. I don't know. But yeah.
I can manipulate this both sides so good. You have no clue, dude.
This guy's a liability.
But he has potential. Let's see if we can still work with that clay.
So I talked Mike into coaching me, which was great. So which is really what I needed more so. So he's offering a little bit of coaching within Rarebird, but then he actually he became my coach, my partner's
which
coach.
Is kind of why in the Bigger Pockets, when they talk about getting a license, they're telling you to get into the industry, find a way in where you can meet your people, meet a network, learn some things. So for you, do you think that the license today is a liability for you? Why do you still hold a broker's license if it's not really your
I mean, there's so many reasons I believe, so I really believe in it. Because one, you just get to buy and list your own properties. That's got to be, and you can use it to, where you're getting started, you can use it to offset, bring in some income. There's going to be some of your friends, family members and stuff that want to do deals and everything. So, but also the ability to, work with the commissions. You can pay yourself a little bit of money on the back end, or push some money back your direction. You can put in a lot of offers into deals. You can go see all of the products out there that people just completed. Hey, I want to know what these comps look like inside. How are you gonna
that's one of the best benefits is just unbridled access to homes.
All your competition, your competitors, seeing what they're doing, see what these flips are, getting inside the homes. And and offers too. Like, yeah, I already mentioned that, but putting in offers is really handy. Instead of having to hassle somebody else to put something in for you. So
I had to become a realtor to get access as an appraiser. I had to become a realtor
to get access
to data. Like that is a huge value component.
Sure. Or just, even though RMLS is the worst, there's a lot of information in there.
Yeah.
And you run a lot of reports.
That's why they still are, like, Zillow still has competition, is because MLS is so deep.
Data.
Yeah. So tell me about the evolution of Dustin. So you've gone from wholesaling to brokering, and you're still going to stick with real estate, but now you start to shift gears because you're like, I got to find a way to make money doing this in a different way.
Yeah. So bought like first flip. That I'll tell you how the transfer. I bought 2 flips right off the bat, and I'm going to the stars. Like, I'm just all.
You're excited.
I'm on another level. Like, I'm so excited.
And frame it. Yeah. So our brokerage is coaching for investors and developers, and here's how you increase your acquisition, here's how you go raise capital, here's how you structure deals. And so immediately Dustin comes over, starts going against what I say.
Every good student.
There's a name for you in this around Portland. They do call you the deal killer.
No, the best deal killer. Come on.
The best deal killer.
It's because he's an appraiser.
Yeah.
No, but you had success right out the gate.
The first two general contractors I hired both crapped out. One of them took my deposit, filed bankruptcy, just done. Like, he came in for a day and then left, and never to return. So that set me back. The other guy hired, like, slow played and just want more money, underbid it, and I thought that was okay, and then just needs a bunch of money, and he's dragging ass. So I find myself in another pickle of I got these 2 flips going on, and now the money's all gone. Like, at least like draws and stuff are gone, and nobody's doing any work. So I ended up getting my general contractor's license. I was like, I'm just gonna go finish them. Like, I have to. So
did you need the license to finish your own houses?
No, but I didn't. I think it took me a little bit to get the license, but I was like, I'm going to GC them, and then just got my license and stuff. So you're able to do that. But I just had to, like, buck down and start working, start painting, start doing bathrooms, and I got one guy in that I'd recruited from my lumber days or my selling hard surface. I found the best project manager. This guy's the one guy that's staying on schedule, and he gives me a date. He's actually here, so I brought him over.
Detail guy.
Yeah, right. He's there. So I brought him over, and him and I are just, like, busting away at this house, and just finished it ourselves. Brought family over and just like, grinded. And I think that's a massive lesson. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was. Yeah. So I thought it was just going to be like, oh, here you go, here's the scope, and here's some money, and, like, you really gotta. You got to be on your shit.
You got to be a pro.
You got to be on your game.
Yeah. Right? So did those work out okay for you? You sold and made money?
Both of them ended up making money. Yeah, Holgate and 34th made money, but they were really painful. I had to, like, go back and find more money and get suckered on some shitty loans.
So you going to keep flipping after that, or what happens?
Yeah.
Is that when you started working with that third position lender that's in town that...
What, are you going to say his name?
No, definitely not. I like him. I really like him. He's one of my friends. I like him, but dude, he is a predator.
Oh, even worse now. Worse now. You should see he's like 17%, 7 points.
I just remember dude, this guy wants to charge me 6 points or something like that.
Well, if he's in third position, he's got no
he's taking all the risk. All of the risk. But sometimes you get in a position where you just, what are you going to do?
You got to have it.
Yeah. And I was there.
And if there's, some juice to squeeze and,
I remember that meeting with him because he came to the site and talked, and I was like, oh, so first deal, huh? Like, and it's not going so well for you. Sure, here's some money. Here's $60,000 to finish this up. I mean, so sure, fine.
First deal,
and it's going bad. Okay, yeah, let's sign up for this one. Bold move there.
It is a bold move, dude, and think about it. Like, he's helped a lot of people just get through their first initial problems, right? Like, you can say this is a predatory lender, but he's also helped some people that are now successful get through their first F-ups.
Yeah.
So they didn't get taken out, so they could ultimately become successful. So there's a piece for wholesale. There's a place for wholesalers, and there's a place for bad contractors that steal your deposits. There's a place for predatory lenders. It's just one big kumbaya community.
It's funny. He still comes to Investor Lab, and it's always funny.
He comes to Salem too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You know him. Yeah. You met him.
Now we can.
Guarantee it.
You can't put him on.
No.
Or is it a promotion. This is a promotion.
I think it could be. Yeah.
Let's make it.
But I haven't got permission from him, so I'm not saying it. Yeah.
Mike will give you the number to the third party.
Yeah.
Or third
he listens.
lender.
If you want me to give your name out, you definitely know we're talking about you. Happy to give you a shout out next episode.
But it's fun to see him at the events and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the first deal with Dustin.
I gave him a hug last night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So during this time, are you thinking in your mind you want to build a real estate portfolio, or are you just all about income at this point?
I want to build profit and income. Like, I'm trying to hold rentals. I understand that the power is in the hold, and so
how did you learn that
about bigger pocket? Just understand. Like, come on, like we're flip is just paying you. You're just gonna.
It's a job,
right?
Yeah.
And so I get it. Like, we gotta stack rentals, stack doors and stuff, but it's hard to do. And I wanted to hold that first one. And had I done it too, Mike told me no. Don't build an ADU. Don't build like on a corner lot that I bought for $300,000. Let's check Mike's deal killing skills. All right, corner lot on.
When we add the context to this, he's gonna feel really stupid. He brought this up.
What? Oh, no money and no. Like what? Wait, let's just say. Hold on, just to put you in perspective. A corner lot on 43rd and Clinton. On 43rd and Clinton, corner lot with a double. Has a backyard, street facing backyard. Right. Don't build an ADU there. That's a bad idea. Go ahead, your turn.
43rd and Clinton?
43rd and Clinton, first deal. Hey, here's some plans to build an ADU here. Wouldn't it look nice, like on this high lot, like all that? No, don't do that.
Mike's job to tell everybody to not do a deal, by the way. So if you call Mike and say, should I do this deal? He's going to tell you not to do the deal.
What he's not talking about is Holgate, which turned into a flip when I told him not to buy it because he's waiting on code to change. And I told him, don't buy something based on code changing.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Yeah. Now, 43rd and Clinton was different because...
He knows he fucked up on that one. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
43rd and Clinton
Don't build an ADU.
What? He's putting his coach on blast right now. So did you build it?
No, I had to sell it. But how'd I build it?
Is that the first one you bought with an FHA loan when you put the illegal kitchen in it? Because you couldn't put an ADU in it. Like, let's be honest, dude. I coached you through it how you should have done, and you fucking skirted through the laws.
I've done that 8 times since then, and I've had 0 problems.
The problem isn't my coaching. The problem is code was not yet established, and you wanted to force something before code was there.
I was trying to reel it back.
We've established Dustin is not a rule follower.
Oh, God. He gave one of the best presentations at Investor Lab. Because he told everybody about how you can illegally do all this shit and not get caught for it.
Well, these rules, they keep putting them in place and then they change them. Like, based off of what? Like, what they think
for example,
is good at the time?
So what we just mentioned on that project where he skirted the rules, it no longer breaks the rules what he did 4 or 5 years ago. So, yes. Right. And you just got to be forward looking.
Or do what you want to do, right? And you know what Mike taught me?
Or do what you want to do. I mean,
blunt force.
Within context. I feel like we're going to get canceled. Why are we bringing this guy on here?
You just said it was the best at Investor Lab, right?
Well, it's a private audience. It's not going on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Okay. All right, I'll tone it back a little bit.
Do not incriminate yourself, Dustin.
Okay. I'll tell...
we don't break laws. We live in the gray area of code because we understand code and how it's not black and white and how you can live in that gray area safely and soundly.
Can I share some advice that you gave me that I just absolutely love? It's from you.
Yeah, okay. Edify me, please.
If you break something, is it curable? So can you rewind it? Like, okay, so what's going to happen if you push a boundary and then what's going to happen? You look at that next level of like, okay, am I going to get a fine?
I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. He's talking about the second and third order of things. This is amazing.
and then am I going to, or am I going to prison? Like, or are they going to send me a letter and then I get to fix that letter situation? situation, right? Like, I think.
How do you unwind it? What kind of trouble are you getting into? Is there a correction to it?
Sure.
And then, exactly, you just got to understand the process.
And then like, okay, well, what's going to happen if I put or 3 tiny homes in this backyard when I'm only supposed to have one? Like, they're going to say, hey, you got some tiny homes back here. Okay, and I have to get rid of one. But never happened.
And a good coach will tell you, hey, here's the downside.
Yeah.
You can do that. It's but here's, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you saying that it's only breaking the law if you get caught?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's a really good example. The tiny home. So tiny homes you can't have them on your property, but Portland just came out and said, hey, we're not going to enforce this law. And it became the wild, wild west of tiny homes. Yeah. And so now they created code around tiny homes. Yeah. It's just
ahead of my time.
Yeah.
It's like the unwritten rule of.
They keep changing this
They do keep changing.
Right? Like, I mean, even just the code now where you can have as many kitchens and stuff in these units as you want. You got to remove the doors. Like, that would have helped me a lot. Like, my portfolio will look completely different.
And honestly,
I think able to do that 3 years earlier.
Code probably gets changed because of guys doing things like this.
And they just make sense. They're really good ideas.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if you think about too, what's the deal? They're trying to provide affordable housing, and essentially that's all I'm doing here.
Right? So you say you're a general contractor and developer. To me, developer is very in the weeds, detail, dealing with code, dealing with the city. How do you handle that? You have partners that do that on your team, or do you get involved in that?
Yeah, I partnered with a very detailed, guy for quite a while. So we built.
Is this your same guy that came in on your flip?
No. This is a friend.
He's the reason I was able to coach him.
There was a voice of reason in Dustin's partnership.
Jason listens. Right. Yeah, great. And so we partnered together. We started off with like a little flip, and he brought in the finances and stuff, and then I brought in the horsepower and the deal, got it done, and held it as a rental, did another one, and then eventually quit his full-time job. He had a $300,000 job at a really big sneaker company.
Wow.
And quit his job and went full time doing what we're doing. So
what are you doing today?
I'm doing a few flips to keep the wheels turning. So I got 2-3 flips going on. Still development, so I'm building a lot of cottages. So cottage clusters in Portland. Good jam right now. Feel like we've got a lot of headspace on that. Starting to really understand what the people need and what works and what doesn't. Right?
Tell us what a cottage cluster is and why that's a good thing to be doing.
Well, it's another one of those things that the city just changed, and all of a sudden now you can build as many houses as you want on a lot in any residential, and it just opened up all of the residential lots in Portland where you can build as many. There's some code behind it and stuff. Setbacks and
minimum square footages,
right? All that stuff. So you're just building as many square boxes on a site that lends itself well to people want to live there, right? But you organize those boxes in whatever way you want. And,
are you condoing those, or how are you doing? Are you selling them when they're done, or holding them?
I've done both condo and the middle housing land division. And the main thing that we've been doing is we take one existing structure that's an old craftsman house in a prime neighborhood, proper neighborhood, and it has a good sized backyard. And also has good access to the backyard. So being on a corner lot, or has 15 feet on the side or something like that. And you can do this on a 5,000 square foot lot. Build 2 cottages, ADUs, either one, and then we remodel that house. And remodel that house into essentially a unit upstairs and an in-law suite downstairs, because you don't want to use that AD. You don't want to call it an ADU. It's an in-law suite, right? Which
are you building like a duplex?
It's gray area.
It's a gray area in-law suite. So essentially a duplex. You turn it into
separate
a duplex.
Access.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doing separate access as an in-law suite. You need to have stairs in there connecting, but you can have a separate entrance. So 2 units. You got the washer and dryer downstairs, separate sub panel.
And this is purely legal, by the way. We've done this. You don't separately meter it. It's okay to do.
So it's a good rental, especially if you're going to manage it, right? So because you can't have a separate mailbox and stuff like that.
So if you're not separately metered, landlord's paying for the utilities, or you're doing a bill back of some sort on electrical?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a crappy process, but that's how you do it.
Okay,
and
so
you got to tell that bottom unit you got a post office. You don't get a B address. You need a post office box because you can't get mail.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little messy.
Okay.
But it works well. So then sell off the ADUs. Build and sell off the ADUs, and then you keep
after you condo them.
Yep, condo them, and then you keep.
So you're really following Mike's blueprint here. Like use the code to your advantage to buy a house with extra land, turn the house into a duplex, condo off some ADUs in the back, and you sell those ADUs off. You don't rent them and hold them.
Not the new construction. I just they're expensive doors.
Hey, Dustin, who has the highest ADU sale in the city of Portland?
For high watermark for price? Mike Nuss? That'd be my guess.
I'm second.
He's really close. He thought he was going to beat us. Hey, who has the highest condo sale for an existing home in the city of Portland?
That would be me.
That would be Dustin.
That would be me.
That would be Dustin.
$1 million.
Dustin, they do way better on the existing residents than we do. He goes overboard.
People tell me I go too far into these houses, but it's something I really enjoy. I enjoy remodeling and restoring these historic houses. They're 100. We're doing an 1890 house. We're doing these historic houses and bringing them back to their original charm and just making them really nice, really livable, and new systems, complete new systems. I like it. I like taking these old houses and making them beautiful. And so we've done that. Yeah, one of them sold for $1 million as a condo. Like $1 million condo. $1 million condo
house
with no backyard. Right.
So our highest sale is like 700.
Yeah.
He's over that.
They're pretty good. Mike's got the highest ADU.
How much did your ADU sell for? Your high watermark?
$565.
And what was yours, Dustin?
$550.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
But he thought he was going to sell it for $5. He priced it at $575.
He wanted to beat you.
I thought 100% I was going to take that.
Who buys an ADU for $565,000?
It has to be an amazing location, and it's typically a downsizer that wants to be in a walkable area. And ours was an exchange where they Airbnb'd it for a while and then ultimately moved in.
Yeah. Or you get the younger
the execs
like that. Or I find it's like parents have like money they're gonna kid just got to college.
We've gotten some of that too.
Yeah. But
I love this though. So he complains about 43rd and Clinton and the ADU and all that, but he also completed, this is how the life works. He completed a sexy project on 34th and Clinton. 43rd wasn't great. Turn it around. 34th was amazing.
Yeah. I found Clinton and I just love that street. Actually, I did 3 projects on Clinton. Mm-hmm. One right across from that, and it turned out really nice. And it's just a cool neighborhood. Yeah.
Are you building only for yourself, or are you doing this third party for other clients as well?
I've done a few third party for like new construction for another investor, but I don't mess around with. When I started off, I was doing little remodels for homeowners, and I quickly learned that I do not care.
Not your thing.
Like I'm not going to walk around this house for 3 hours talking about paint.
Yeah.
It's like
what's your all-in cost on an ADU that sells for $550,000?
I guess you're talking permits and management or raw costs,
and the condo fee,
land, it's just kind of all over the place. So I'll just say management and the like raw costs. We're coming in closer to like $216 or something like that. So not land. So and permits.
So you had the land in.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, land came free when you bought the house, but if you split it up, divide it.
But it doesn't. You take a lot. It's complicated.
Yeah. What are you?
No one's going to answer that question the same way.
So what would you say? You're in $350. You got a couple $100,000 profit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing you're probably making $70,000 per unit in what you sell if you do a good project. If you do a super good project, 100. An average project's more like 40 or 50, and then the ones that suck
sure.
got thrown in there too.
Or if you sell them, we had one project where they sold for $350. It's like, pretty much that's what it
costs.
Right.
So it's about getting the right land. Like you can pay more. One of our best projects was a nightmare of a project. We second highest land price that we paid. It was a duplex. We're gonna put an ADU back there. Code changed. We couldn't do that. We had to tear the duplex down, and it was an old nasty one. Cost us $60,000. That didn't include the permitting and the abatement. just a nightmare. And then we had to redesign. At this point, we knew 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath units sucked, and so we then redesigned our plan. And so we had to delay to redesign our plan. But then we just sold those for $600,000 a pop. So
was that Sherman?
Yeah, all 4 sold. Finally closed.
But see,
they're sexy.
But that's a cottage. I don't know where you can see.
It's not an ADU. That's a cottage. The 565. We claim that as an ADU
because I walked this actually. I walked outside. It's super sexy.
Yeah, and so that was a project that stalled and went completely wrong and sideways, but we ultimately made profit on it.
And that's a bold move too, going with like the 4 on that side. Well, it's an oversized lot, like slightly oversized. Yeah.
Oh, that neighbor did not like me.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, just stacked them in there, but it's super sexy. And really nice. Yeah.
He just assumed I was a jerk developer. I gave him an opportunity to buy the property from us. It was just a nightmare.
Neighbors are bad. Yeah, I learned some real hard lessons that way too. With some neighbors.
I'm trying to figure out. So you're building for yourself. You're developing for yourself. You're finding a way. Both of you guys are finding a way to create an income stream out of these companies. Where do you divide up your strategy and go into investment? What makes you say, I'm going to go chase a deal to hold, or I'm if this one works out the way I want it to, this is one I'm going to keep? Like how do you model that? How do you figure what you hold versus what you sell?
I wish it was that. Like I had a nice spreadsheet. There's like all my properties and projects and stuff going on. But it's really, I think if you can, right? If you can hold it, like let's hold it. Like if I need cash, let's sell it. Like that's kind of my matrix. Like I'm going into everything of like, hey, if I can find a way to hold it, like let's hold it. Like you did like Southeast 11th. It was a project I think you told me not to buy.
Mike did his job.
No. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
I don't think I told you not to buy it. I just was like, be very cognizant. If you're going to put that many tiny homes there, may or may not be a legal thing to do, and you may have to run some stuff backwards, and then you had a plumbing leak. Changed everything.
Saved everything. Sewer guy comes to do a sewer scope and he takes off the toilet, which they usually don't do, right? They don't remove the toilet. They'll you to come remove the toilet because they can't find the clean out. So he removes the toilet, and then the little plastic valve broke over the weekend, and so the whole thing flooded out over the weekend. The basement flooded, everything. So over $150.
$150,000.
No, $150 sewer scope. They paid $150,000 to remodel the house for us.
Ooh.
So ended up doing well. But that was a project that we were getting ready to list, and I was like, I don't know. We're going to come in like $950 or $900, and not even with all that, still not do that great on it. And we tried to find a way to hold it. Got it appraised. It appraised for $1.1 million.
Always easier to appraise, right? Appraise higher than you can sell it for right now.
It is.
What does that tell you about the market?
Whatever.
It's going the wrong direction.
But turn that into house in the in-law suite underneath, and then did 3 tiny home pads in the back. And so that cash flow is like, well, there's a little cash flow on hog there.
Sexy little thing.
Yeah, right. It was able to hold it. So answer your question of like, if we can, and we were going to sell it, but it was like, hey, we figured out a way to hold it, get our money back, and good to go.
So what's your guiding light? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, I'm moving to Spain in like for 1 year, and so I've got about 14 months, and so I'm trying to, wife's got a healthy W-2, and I'm trying to like us just chill. So that's why I want to be able to just like kick back and stuff. So
you're just stacking up some cash and getting the portfolio to run as smooth as possible, and you're gonna run your pipeline of development to 0, go to Spain, and then come back and start it up again.
I don't know.
He's gonna run it remotely from Spain. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to build a team. I've got a few. So right now that development flip stuff, all that's kind of going on. Then just bought a marina with a few partners where we bought 76 boat slips, and there's 28 floating homes there, and we are which is essentially like a trailer park, which I know you guys all love the damn trailer park.
Floating trailer park.
Yeah, and I see like a ton of upside there. We're rebuilding the marina. We bought it for 1.7. We're going to put $1 million into it. The exit appraise or the value afterwards, after we add all the boat slips and stuff, we're going to push out the dock, double up the slips, and it should come out to like $5 million.
Double
when we're done. Yeah. And then, but the cool thing that we're doing there is we're building floating saunas and floating tiny homes on the water. So these boat slips are pumping out $200 a month, like. Give me a break. Like I got to find this is waterfront property,
it's like a storage unit.
Like looking at a yacht sales, and restaurant on the other side, like nice little area on Bridgeton Way on the Oregon side. Cool little area, and these little slips are getting $200 a month. So I'm thinking, what can we do to get more money? Like people want to be here. You got rotten sailboats that are just dying out here. Like we got to find a way to make some more money. So came up with this idea of they have these floating saunas up in Seattle, and they kill it. They send these floating saunas out for 2 hours, and they charge $1,200. So for 2 hour voyage.
What?
Yeah, go up there. I've been up there several times. They're badass.
People are dumb.
Like, think about if you have a birthday or
Dude,
a
have you seen
bachelorette party
Cascada in Portland? For $100, you got like all kinds of stuff. $1,200 to sit on a boat that you can't get out of the sauna.
That's like no. This one has like you got the sauna, and then the full is a big rooftop deck. It's a big huge deck. You jump off the rooftop into the water. You're talking about like sitting in front of I-5 bridge with Mount Hood in the view, background and a sunset. Like it's a vibe. Like,
it's a vibe.
I'm launching it. We'll be done in like 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks.
I'm excited for you, dude. I'm really excited for you.
So that'll make a bunch of money. Then we'll also have these like little tiny homes that are on boats that'll be in those slips as well, which I can rent those for $200 a night, right?
So you're going to do short-term rental,
right? Out of those, which what led me to that was another project Mike told me not to do. The floating home. I bought a floating home duplex, tore it down, and built a floating home duplex.
How many projects have you done? I told you not to do
all of them. You told him not to do all of them.
That's right? You told me not to do the floating home stuff, right? I just assume you told me not to do everything.
No, it was the beach stuff was why I was not a fan of. Yeah. The floating home was cool.
Well, that makes a bunch of money, though. That's really profitable. Like
the
really
beach stuff?
Yeah, I make 120, debt service is 60, and I make
nice
120 on that. So right now it's making $20,000 a month. Yeah, buddy. 20,000.
No, you're talking about the floating home or the
both of them actually. I rent out one side of the floating home for $8,000 a month furnished, and the other side for $65,000.
Yeah,
and so
you're talking about the floating home though, not the beach. So
no,
the one that
they both make about $120,000 a year. Yeah, they both cash flow a lot. Yeah. So, but they were a pain in the ass. I shouldn't have done them because they derailed a lot of my projects.
There you go. It's the distractions, the bandwidth. We had a lot of bandwidth conversations.
Yeah. As you can see, I have a problem with that.
Shiny object. That's the entrepreneurial Achilles heel.
I tried to back out of the marina. We got that tied up like over a year ago, and I told my buddy, I said, you know what? I'm just going to broker it for you because I got too much going on. I can't do this. It's a big risk and all that. And then once we started running the numbers of what we were going to do and all the other stuff, I was like, this could be it. I could just this would be done. The amount of money this thing will bring, it already brings in $10,000 a month in profit, like after debt service.
How'd you learn about marinas? Is this? I mean, you're obviously around boats and water, and so you understand some of this. But as a construction guy, contractor, developer, like, did you have to learn some new things about homes that float?
Oh yeah, you get your power line. You got to run your power line underwater. Right.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Different. So a couple things to figure out.
You didn't know any of that before you got in?
No, I hired somebody to basically build this out, like build the float and then build the structure because I didn't want to experience. I didn't know.
You didn't want it.
I didn't want to. And then we floated the unit down the river and then put it in its place down off of Selwood, and then I finished it on site because I know how to finish it. So I had my guys finish it, the interior paint, and, all that stuff.
How do you float a home down a river?
On a big bar, like a big tugboat, pushes it for days. From Scappoose took 2 days to push this thing down. Yeah, crazy.
That's crazy.
And then you got to try to get it around the docks, around the other houses, and it got hung up on a rock. And then their decision was, we got to take it back, and then we got to have to move this guy's house to get yours in. And I'm just like, my God. And so I just made the call. We had, we're trying like at high tide, but we have maybe 10 minutes for like high tide, right? So it's going to raise up maybe an inch or two. And so, but the problem is if you start to get stuck at high tide, within 10 minutes, it's going down and now your house is, you're done. You're going to be 6 feet up on a rock and you're fucked.
And so you told him do it.
So we just pushed. And just, I'm sure the flotation underneath doesn't look pretty, but we just pushed that damn thing in, and it'll never come out. So
it's there forever.
What does
the HOA think of you in that marina?
Oh, they really hate me. They know that I just bought this other marina, and they keep bugging me. Hey, you gonna move that out? Like, when are you gonna move it, Dustin? Like, so what happened with that marina is I got this one going. It's doing well. Love it. Making some money, and so I try to buy a second house at this marina, riverfront, like a little bit better one. The guy wants to do seller finance. It's just really good deal. I don't know if it's a really good deal. Good terms. Like, just a cool property.
That makes it a good deal.
Yeah. Good terms don't make everything a good deal.
Yeah.
It can.
Anyways, that HOA comes back to me and says, I get this email that they all hate me. They don't like what I'm doing. They don't want this to be rentals, certainly like any of this stuff. They fight me on everything. They make life a living hell for me. They try to enforce every rule possible just to make things difficult for me. It's a really ugly situation. But one of the emails that came through was like, it's called McAdam Bay, and like, we're not interested in this being McAdam Bay vacation rentals, McAdam Bay storage unit rentals, or Dustin's rental thing. And
sauna fleet.
Yeah. And at that point, I was like, this isn't going to work. Yeah. They're going to give, we were getting attorneys involved because they wouldn't sign off and let me buy the house, even though legally they didn't have that authority. They need to sign off, but they like in the HOA, they have to approve me. But I've already been approved, so they can't say I'm not approved for this. This is supposed to be based off of who I am. Like, you've already proved who I am. So
yeah, but you're the guy that has all this other stuff going on that they don't appreciate. Quintessential Portland Karens.
I ended up just I lost my earnest money on that and just walked away from it. And then I was like, I want to do this. I love being on the water. I'm a boat guy. Love being on the water. Just water makes me calm. It calms me down. I just really, really like it. And so that led me to the marina. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere where I'm going to make my own damn rules. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not a good rule follower. Do your own, yeah. But you know what? I could make a bunch of money doing short-term rentals out of that thing. Why can't I not? Just because they don't want me to.
Sure.
Like, so, there's no, you could build each one of those units having an ADU, but they won't allow you to. Like, so, yeah. Anyways.
This is a great segue into the deal episode.
Yeah. I want to ask a question about the sauna real quick. Are you a sauna guy?
A little bit. I mean, I don't do it regularly, but I do. The times I do it, I love it.
This is a big thing. The boys cool. and I went to Sweden and to Norway last year, and there's just these floating saunas everywhere. I don't think they go out. I think you can do that. You can rent the ones where they take you out in the middle and you jump in the ocean and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you walk through. Where were we? I think we were in Oslo.
Yeah.
And you just walk through downtown Oslo, and there's like a bay that comes in, and all along the bay, there's just floating saunas, and you're like, people are walking by in business suits, and right next to you, there's a dude just hopping out in his, in his Speedo out of the sauna, getting on the roof and jumping out into the bay. Like, it's just part of their culture.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's where it came from.
Yeah, actually. It's very much a Scandinavian tradition.
My wife works at Nike, and they have a headquarters in office in Amsterdam. She went over there for the weekend with some friends, and she came back this was 2 years ago, and she's like, you got to do these.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do them at the other, but I could not. It wouldn't let me.
So is that a business that you'll run or will you lease that out to a company that drives them out in to do their parties and stuff? Or is that something that they'll rent the boat and they'll drive themselves out into the bay?
No, can't let anybody else. You have to have a captain. There's some rules.
So you're going to be running a business, a moving parts business.
It's chartered. Okay. That makes more sense why it's more expensive if it's chartered.
You got somebody out taking you out.
Yeah. You have to, it's a big, it's 30 by 12. It's massive. It's huge.
You can't let somebody go. They'll crash it.
Yeah, most likely, right? Or sink it, tip it over, something like that.
Don't let Trevor
it is a business. They'll have to run and stuff, but it seems to be, should be really profitable. And I mean, that sauna, maybe like $70,000 into the sauna, and hell, it should be paid off.
You can run that from Spain. With good systems and staff.
I mean, got a little team too.
Anything.
I can do anything.
Brute force.
Everything. I can do everything.
All right, we're going to wrap up this episode. Dustin, if somebody wants to reach out to you, how do they get a hold of you to learn some of these things? Will you say yes to their deals if they call you instead of Mike?
Of course.
Hey, what would you rather do if you got a bad deal? Call me to kill it, or someone else is going to tell you to do it?
Call them both, and then decide. Flip a coin.
I'm optimistic. I like to see.
Are you okay with people reaching out to you if they have questions about what you're doing? How do they get a hold of you?
You betcha. Yeah. Email address. What's the best way? You tell me.
What's your Instagram? What's your social?
Instagram. Yeah. You can find me on all the Instagrams.
I saw you on Facebook this morning.
Dustin Michael Miller.
Dustin Michael Miller.
They're all Dustin Michael Miller. Right. There's another.
I'm not going to say what I was just going to say.
There's another Dustin Miller. So what was he going to say?
I don't know, dude. It just seems like a movie star name. Dustin Michael.
A kid that I hired that was on. He was a movie guy. Yeah. He was on Grimm, and he came up with that name. He's like, that's the name for it.
Dustin Michael Miller.
It's too much. It's too much.
No, I like it.
Yeah. It's not too much.
I have a new warehouse that I was going to name it. It's called Boats and Homes. So I was going to tag it with that because that's catchy. Huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'll change it, Mike.
Boats
and Homes. Yeah. So we're building boats out of there. We're building tiny homes, and I'm about to get approved to do modular. So I'm going to build modular homes out of there instead of stick building. We're going to try to build them faster.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
all right.
All sorts of stuff.
Okay, we're going to wrap this one up. Dustin Michael Miller, thanks so much for being on Deal Junkies.
Yeah.
Deal Junkies, we love you. Share us, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you next time.